Today we will see the difference between general processors in your computer and embedded processor. There are two different terminologies. Whatever processors are there in our computer system, they are one type of your processor, and another type of processor is your embedded processors. So both the things are the family members of your processor, but they are having some difference. So we will see the difference between general processors available in our computer system or in our laptop and the embedded processors. So here general purpose microprocessors contains number one, it do not have any kind of RAM. RAM stands for random access memory. So your general purpose microprocessor never have any kind of RAM. They do not have read only memory ROM. They do not have any kind of input output ports. So if we consider about your general purpose microprocessor, those general purpose microprocessor will never have these three things. Number one, they will never have random access memory, they will never have read only memory, and they will never have input output or your IO ports. What in case of your what general purpose microprocessors. And in contrast with general purpose microprocessor, there are some microcontrollers, and the microcontroller has number one CPU, that is your microprocessor. Central processing unit is nothing but your CPU. Then microcontroller will have RAM, random access memory, they will have read only memory, IO ports and timer. And next one is your what? So this is the difference between your what general processors in your computer system and the embedded processor. Means what? You can you all are aware about that. What is CPU, what is RAM, what is ROM, what is IO ports, what is the use of timer, what is ADC, A to D converter, analog to digital converter. All these things are the part of your what microcontroller, whereas microprocessor do not have all these things embedded on them. So this is what the basic difference between your microprocessor and microcontroller. Always remember that microcontroller and microprocessor are two different entities. Now we will see what is microcontroller. Microcontroller is a compact integrated circuit designed to govern a specific operation in an embedded system. So a microcontroller, the very first thing, it states that microcontroller is a part of your embedded system. Point number one. Point number two, it is a compact integrated circuit. It is a small circuit. It is an integrated circuit which is designed to govern a specific operation. So the task of every microcontroller is specific. Remember, they are task specific. They are what? Function oriented. They have some specific predefined task in case of what? Your microcontroller. So a microcontroller is a compact integrated circuit designed to govern a specific operation in an embedded system. So embedded system will must have your microcontroller. Those microcontrollers are designed for specific operations or predefined operations or predefined tasks, and microcontroller is a compact integrated circuit. So compact means what? It will be small in size. Integrated means what? It will be integrated with various other devices, and it is your electronic circuit. This microcontroller include your processor, memory and IO peripherals on single chip. Remember, microcontroller is a single chip which will have processor on it, it will have some memory, and it will have your input output peripherals. The processor will going to process various operations. The processor will going to execute some activities, some task. It will going to be completed by the processor. Then there will be some type of your memory. Some size of memory will be there in case of your microcontroller. That memory will be useful for storing the data locally for easy and quick operation. The memory will be provided to each and every microcontroller, and there will be some input and output peripherals on your microcontroller. Those input and output peripherals will be useful for communicating with outside devices. Whatever will be the devices other than your microcontroller, if you need to do the connection between, let's say, some external device like printer, scanner with your microcontroller, then you will be requiring your what, some input and output peripherals, IO devices will be there for connectivity purpose. So every microcontroller will have these three things: processor, memory, and IO peripherals. Sometimes those microcontrollers are also referred as embedded controller or microcontroller unit, MCU, or embedded controller. These are some nomenclature, or these are some synonyms for your what, microcontroller, or these are some another names for your microcontroller, like your embedded controller or microcontroller unit. Now the first title will be your what, embedded controller. As you know, the meaning of embedded is nothing but your what, different things are embedded together. That's why embedded controller will have different things like your processor, memory, and IO peripherals. That's why it is embedded in nature, and it is named as embedded controller, or it is microcontroller unit, because this unit will be your single chip and it will have your these three components over it. That's why microcontroller can be known as either your embedded controller or it can be known as your microcontroller unit, that is your MCU. Those microcontrollers are commonly found in various vehicles, robots, office machines, medical devices, mobile radio transceivers, vending machines, home appliances, etc. If you remember, or if you know, there are some advanced vehicles nowadays available with various features, like you can see there is a camera on it, it will have some display board, deck is there, it will have some your musical instrument will be there. So everything that you are going to monitor in your vehicle will be because of your what, microcontroller, because those device in your vehicle do not have internet connectivity, but it will be an your what, electronic device. That's why it will be your what, microcontroller. Again, whatever you will be find in your robots or in your office machines, various medical devices, if you know, nowadays there are so many medical devices. If you consider the example of dentist, the dentist have so many medical equipments, electronic equipments, which can be used for your teeth treatment. So those medical devices are equipped with various microcontrollers. There are somewhat your vending machines or home appliances which will have microcontroller. If you remember the vending machine available at, let's say, some public places, so if you insert some coin in the vending machine, you will immediately get some food packets out of those vending machines. The vending machine will have either your, let's say, some amount, it will have some kind of food packets like biscuits will be there, there will be some lays, kurkure will be like this, they will be having such vending machines. If you insert some coin and if you enter some number, then you will get what, those food products against the money deposited into those vending machine. So those such kind of vending machines again will have some kind of your microcontroller, and they are designed around the microcontroller to provide some specific function or some specific task. And various home appliances like your fridge, let's say your microwave oven, and so many things are there, mixer, home appliances again will have your what, microcontroller, and those microcontroller will be responsible of doing some predefined and specific tasks. That is nothing but your what, microcontrollers. Essentially, simple miniature personal computers or your PCs are designed to control small features of larger component without complex front-end operating system. Whatever PCs we are using, whatever PC we have, those PCs are designed for some specific features for large component, and they do not have usually with complex front-end operating system. The front-end operating system will be very simple, it will be very easy to use in case of your what, miniature PCs or your small personal computers. and those personal computers are built on your what microcontrollers. Now we will see the various components of your microcontrollers. Every microcontroller will have CPU, RAM, ROM, IO devices, timer, and serial COM port that we already discussed in one of the slide. So microcontroller will be having your central processing unit, random access memory, read only memory, input output devices. It will have some kind of timer, and it will have some COM ports to connect external devices like your printer and scanner. So these are various components that a microcontroller is created from. A processor is treated as the brain of every device. It processes and responds to various instructions that direct the controller's function. Whatever will be the microcontroller's functions, all the microcontroller's functions and their instructions will be processed and will be responded by this processor or this CPU, central processing unit, and which is treated as brain of any device. It involves performing some basic arithmetic operation, logical operations, or various input-output operations. So the task of processor is to perform some arithmetic operations, logical operations, and I/O operations, along with your what processing and responding to various instructions. Then there will be some memory for your microcontroller. The on-chip microcontroller memory is used to store the data that the processor receives. Whatever data have been received on the microcontroller, those microcontroller data will be stored in this either RAM or it will be stored in your what ROM. This memory uses to respond to instructions that it's been programmed to carry out. There will be some processor. The processor will going to execute some instruction, and those instructions will be requiring some kind of your data. That data is stored in your memory, and those instructions are already programmed to carry out some predefined activity or to carry out some predefined task. We will be requiring some data, and that data will be stored in your what this memory. The memory can be either your RAM or it can be your ROM. There are some input output peripherals. The various input and output devices are the interface for the processor to the outside world. If the processor or if the microcontroller needs to communicate with some outside world devices, then these IO devices or these IO peripherals are very much useful for the communication between your microcontroller or your microprocessor and outside world devices like your printer or scanner. If you want to give some printout through your microcontroller or through your processor, then you will be requiring this IO peripheral, and with the help of this IO peripheral, the printer or the scanner will be attached to your what microcontroller, or it will be attached to your personal computers with the help of various IO peripherals like your serial COM ports or various other different IO port like your USB port. And there will be one timer in case of your microcontroller. If you want to do some activity within some predefined task, predefined timing, then this timer will be useful. This timer is very important if you try to execute some activity after some periodic time interval. So the timer will play very important role. Now we will see microcontroller properties. Let us see various properties of microcontroller. Microcontroller have 4 KB read-only memory. It will have 120 bytes of random access memory. All microcontrollers will have 4 register banks. They have 128 user-defined software flags. There are some predefined or there are some user-defined software flags in case of your microcontroller, and those are total 128 in number. Every microcontroller will have 8-bit bidirectional data bus. Bidirectional means what? It will send as well as it will going to receive data with the help of this 8-bit bidirectional data bus. Then It will have 16-bit unidirectional data address bus. The address bus will be your what? Unidirectional, having size 16-bit. Always remember this. This is very important. Then microcontroller will have two general purpose registers, each of 8-bit. So every microcontroller will have two general purpose register, and though both those general purpose register are of 8-bit size each. It has 16-bit timers. Yes. It has UART, ADC, op-amp, etc. These are some peripherals that are used to connect your what? External devices along with your microcontroller. Then it has 16-bit program counter and data pointer. Every microcontroller will have 4 8-bit ports, and the microcontroller will have 3 internal and 2 external interrupts. So these are some important properties that makes microcontroller differentiate from your general purpose computer. Always remember this. Then next is your system on chip. It is an integrated circuit which is known as your chip that integrates all or most of the components of a computer system or other electronic system. The name itself suggests that it is one kind of chip that will have system built over it or built on particular chip. So the name is system on chip. That means the chip will have some kind of system over it. So what is that? System on chip is nothing but it is one type of your integrated circuit that will going to integrate all or most components of a computer or other electronic system. It will have all the components related with your general purpose system on a single chip. That's why it is known as your system on chip. These components can be CPU, memory, IO ports, secondary storage, GPU, etc. So just remember this, system on chip will going to have everything mounted on a single chip. So everything means what? It will have central processing unit, it will have memory, it will have input output ports, it will have some secondary memory like your hard disk or your USB drives, and it will have your graphics processing unit, that is your GPU, and so on. Everything, all these components will be built on your single chip. That's why it is known as your system on chip. It will going to integrate microcontroller, microprocessor or cellular processor cores with peripherals like Wi-Fi and cellular network, etc. Along with your microcontroller or along with your microprocessor or other some processors, this system on chip peripheral will have some other internet connectivity related things like your Wi-Fi or cellular network, which is already built on that particular chip. That's why it is again treated as your system on chip. So they are used in mobile computing such as your tablets, smartphones, smartwatches, and netbooks, as well as embedded system, and in application where previously microcontroller would be used. So nowadays microcontrollers are replaced with your system on chip, and those system on chip are used in your mobile computing. So which kind of mobile computing? Like your tablet, various smartphones, smartwatches, your netbooks, all these will have your what? System on chip, as well as your what? Various embedded system will going to have this kind of device with it and in its various applications. Now we will see what is embedded processor. The important point from the point of view of Internet of Things, embedded processors are very important. It is a type of your microprocessor designed into the system to control electrical and mechanical function. Embedded processor is type of your microprocessor. This is point number 1. This embedded processor is designed into the system. Why to design? To control electrical as well as your mechanical function. Those embedded processor are designed to control your electrical as well as mechanical function. Mechanical function are generally related with your hardware. Electrical functions are generally related, those are not visible to the user. Those embedded processors usually are simple in design, limited in computational power, and they have input output capabilities along with minimal power requirement. So all the embedded processor will take very less amount of power to work on. They are very simple in design and they have limited computational power, due to which they will be very much what cheap in nature. They are not so expensive, which will generate your low cost system. Basically, embedded processor are the CPU chip placed in a system that it helps control. So what happens generally, those embedded processor are mounted in your CPU chip where that system is going to be used, or where that system is going to control other functionalities of your system. They generally do not have to do computations or be extremely fast. This is the ideal thing in case of your embedded processor, that those embedded processor generally do not have to do the computations, or they do not have to be extremely fast. It will be fine if the embedded processor do not do any kind of computation, or it will be okay if the embedded processor are not as fast as our system or our latest mobile phones. Nor do they have to have great input output capability. So it do not require that every embedded processor must be very fast in case of your input and output capability. That will be fine if they are slow. That will be fine if they are not able to do any kind of computation activities. That will be fine. But the task of embedded processor is to support your what? CPU, central processing unit. That's why they are very much inexpensive. That means they are not so expensive in nature. Those embedded processors help to control aircraft and industrial automation. They are commonly available in your automobiles and in both small and large household appliances. One particular type, that is your digital signal processor DSP, are used in your wireless telephones, digital telephone, cable modems, and some other stereo equipments. One type of your embedded processor is nothing but your what? Digital signal processor, DSPs. And those digital signal processors are generally used in your what? Wireless telephones, that is your mobile phones, digital telephones, your cable modems, whatever will be internet connectivity you have at your home with the help of your cable modem. All those cable modems will require your what? Digital signal processors, and some stereo equipments like your audio video equipments. All those things will have your digital signal processor, which is a type of your embedded processor. They are available in transportable devices like your virtual watches, PDAs, digital cameras, GPS gadgets, MP3 players, etc. These embedded processors are generally found in your what? Transportation devices, like all the devices which are transportable in nature, like your virtual watches, PDAs, your digital cameras, GPS gadgets, MP3 players, all those components will have your what? Embedded processors. Those embedded processors are again utilized in purchase electronic together with online game console, DVD games and printers. Whatever online games you are playing, you will be requiring some device to play those games. So those online games will have your embedded processor. Your DVD games or printers again will have your embedded processors. Thank you.